Yeah, right. Well, tell them that. All right, what's up, everybody? So we're in Kenosha again. Today is Kyle Rittenhouse hearing. That was scheduled on a Zoom call. He's not physically at the courthouse. There, took a little walk around. What's up, buddy? Took a little walk around before going live here, and got some Kyle supporters that are out here. Mainstream media, National Guard set up at Civic Park and inside the fencing. So we're gonna go talk to people.
Well, now I know where you got your name.
I know I got my name. But I'm gonna change it to something else because my phone.
A lot of gathering. Oh yeah. Telling you, bro. See, like this dude walking around, bro, right there.
Yep.
I'm gonna go over here by this school. Look, bro, they're all.
Huh?
Look at them. They're everywhere, bro. You got a bunch of guys standing here. You got a bunch that are over there.
Who's that sneaky motherfucker over by the door over there?
Right there?
Yeah.
We're gonna go find out. We're gonna go chat with all of them. Their fucking military gear. Yeah, cover your faces. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good. Who are you guys?
Americans.
Yeah, no kidding. What are you guys out here for?
Enjoying the weather. Yeah. How you doing today?
Good.
Good.
Why are you guys always so secretive?
Who? Well, who are you? Who's you guys?
We're journalists.
Hello.
Independence.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like on the internet or is it like an actual, like a paper or?
We do articles on our website and social media.
Oh, okay.
You got a
Yeah.
website?
Never.Stop.Voices.com.
Never.Stop.Voices?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I can get behind that. That sounds good.
Yeah.
You guys got a way to subscribe?
On the Facebook page, which is Never Stop Media.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
You guys here for Rittenhouse's hearing, or?
No, we're just out enjoying the weather. Taking us roll.
Hacking out.
We were trying to get ice cream earlier, but the shop's closed.
Yeah.
Which is super unfortunate. So.
You guys from Kenosha?
Here, yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Born and bred.
Yeah, I live here.
Nice.
It's my city. What do you guys think about this curfew that's going to happen?
What's the thing?
Yeah.
Not a fan personally.
Yeah, kind of wild.
I don't know if it's necessary or not, but
Think that impedes upon our rights as residents of Kenosha and Americans?
Should say so.
yeah, it does and it doesn't. Maybe, I don't know. They want to keep people safe, so I kind of get it. I don't know, maybe it might not be the best way to go about it.
Well, we're protected by the First Amendment, right? To speak and assemble, and
Yeah.
kind of
Oh, yeah, no,
kind of blocks
absolutely.
it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy times, so I think people struggle with trying to deal with everything that's going on. Try to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a big learning process for everybody.
So, what do you think the right way to do it is?
Well, I don't have that answer. I wish. That'd be super nice.
Right.
But, I don't think anybody's got that answer realistically. You know, it just takes a lot of, you learn by getting it wrong, right?
Right.
But
I hear you.
You
All
said
right.
never stop what?
What do you want? Facebook?
Yeah.
Never Stop Media.
Media. There we go.
Yep.
Cool.
So we're a very pro civil rights platform.
yeah, it's important. Everybody's got to be
There
heard.
you are.
There I am.
Right there at the top.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, great, guys. Thanks for chatting with us.
Yep.
absolutely.
Take care, guys.
Have a good day.
Be safe.
I want to go see this lurking person. Standing off in the shadows. Oh, there he is. What's up, Josh? There he is. You want to talk to me? No? You just want to come to my town? That's it? Sit and lurk in your truck? What's up, buddy? You gonna run back to Illinois when shit pops off like you always do? This is the guy, bro. Mr. Josh Ellis. Self-proclaimed 3%er. Yeah. There he is. What's up, boss? What are you guys doing out here today? You don't answer questions?
Not to the media,
Why not?
because I don't have to. That's why.
We're not mainstream media.
There we go.
Yeah, but we put out truthful stuff. Who you guys with?
With myself.
Okay. From Wisconsin?
Does it matter where I'm from?
I think so. What are you guys doing out here today? Come to support Kyle?
Kyle.
Really? You pro Kyle Rittenhouse or against?
I have no position one way or the other. How's that going?
Okay. I like that.
How about you?
Personally, I'm against. Committed a crime and then committed multiple crimes after that. People lost their lives. Yeah. What do you think about the two people that died and the person that got injured here back in August?
No opinion one way or the other.
No opinion? You a 3%er too?
What's a 3%er?
Man, this guy don't know nothing. Okay. You guys gonna go home when they start this curfew?
You like to follow the law.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, I'm a journalist, so I'm exempt from the curfew. Just document what happens.
Well, if everybody follows the curfew, there won't be anything to document then, will there?
Hopefully not.
Good thing, right?
Yep. Do you have an opinion about the curfew?
Unconstitutional.
Yes, 100%. Why do you believe it's unconstitutional?
I gave you everything you need to know.
Do you think it stifles people's voice? Their First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly?
Sounds like that's what you think.
Is there something else to it, or am I wrong completely, or?
I think you have a good grasp on it.
Okay. So if you follow this ridiculous curfew, but you think it's unconstitutional, how does that, it kind of seems a little contradictory. So like,
Said we'll follow the law.
which law? KPD's corrupt law, or our constitutional right?
We'll follow the law. We're not out here to cause problems.
But there were militia groups that were out here back in August that were ready to cause problems.
Were they?
Yeah.
I'm not aware of that.
No? You got Mr. Josh Ellis over here likes to start shit on social media.
Met the guy. That's who he is.
You just sitting in a random guy's car.
Uber. He does Uber.
Yeah. I don't see the Uber or the Lyft tag in the front.
That's more of a gypsy Uber.
Gypsy Uber. Okay. All right. Great. Wonderful. Oh look. Don't tread on me flags. Well, thanks for your time, sir.
Have a nice day.
Appreciate it. Go. What's up, buddy? Look at that. 3%er from Illinois. What's up, sir? How you doing today? You know, you talk a lot on your YouTube channel, but you don't talk now. Why not, Josh? You lurk in the shadows.
No. Right out there.
Then some shit happens, and then you run back to Illinois. I watch your channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing out here today?
What are you doing out here today?
I'm a journalist.
No, you're not.
No?
No.
Okay. What are you doing out here?
What are you doing?
Why are you in my state? Why are you in my city?
Why are you out here?
Why are you in my city, Josh?
Why are you out here? And it ain't your state, it ain't your city.
Yeah, you're in my city, buddy.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, you're a tourist.
Fucking country, you piece of shit.
Oh, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You're a tourist in my city, Josh.
You have no fucking clue, do you?
Putting out rhetoric.
Yeah.
Rhetoric. So why don't you tell everybody what the 3%er is that don't know what it is?
Anybody who don't know what it is, look it up.
Well, there's a lot of bullshit that's on the internet, right? Some goofy can go to Wikipedia, find out false information.
Or they can just listen to your bullshit and find out false information either way.
I've never actually talked about 3%ers. You'd be the first one I officially met.
Really? That surprises me. I think it's not more.
What are you doing out here, Josh?
What are you doing out here?
I told you, I'm a journalist, documenting what's happening in my city.
I'm a journalist too.
Yeah?
Documenting what's happening in my country.
What's your company name?
What's yours?
Never.Stop Media.
American Revolution 2.0.
Yeah, is that registered in Illinois?
No,
No.
doesn't
So
have to be. It's about freedom of speech. Freedom
Yeah.
of the press.
no, you're just a guy with a cell phone.
Yeah. A few other things.
Yeah. Come out here with guns today? So funny, you got all kinds of shit to say on your channel. Nothing to me, though. You'd think, you'd want to talk, Josh.
Why you guys don't fucking listen?
We're ready, right here. We're listening.
Okay.
Educate us.
Then watch my YouTube channel. You want to be educated.
I got you right here, live, doing an interview. Educate us.
I'm not doing an interview. You're not media.
Huh. Why not? Why aren't I media? You guys chastise mainstream media for putting out a bunch of false bullshit, and then you want to fuck with independents too, when we're actually trying to put out the real shit.
You're trying to put out the real shit. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I document exactly what's going on.
Gotcha.
I've called out both sides before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
You watch my platform?
I don't have a fucking clue who you are.
Right.
Big enough.
Right, so you have no idea. So that's what I'm asking. Educate us. What is a 3%er?
Look it up.
What's a patriot?
Look it up.
Why are you guys always so secretive?
Nothing secretive. It's all on the internet.
Right, but how do we distinguish between what's real information and what's not?
It's called using something that most of y'all don't have, an ability to critically analyze data.
Why are you insulting everybody? I'm a very educated person.
Are you?
Very.
You pro-anarchy?
Anarchy?
Yeah.
No.
Pro-communism?
No.
Pro-socialism?
No.
Pro the Constitution?
Yes. 100%. So even though I may not agree with some of the shit you guys do, 100% agree with the Constitution. And if your Second Amendment right was ever fucking violated, even though I don't really care for you guys, a 100 fucking percent would be there to make sure your voices are elevated.
Who are fucking you guys? See, this is the problem. No critical ability to critically think. Who are you guys? 3%ers? Is that what it is?
All the patriots.
Oh, patriot. So, like, what's the definition of a patriot?
My definition?
Yeah.
Somebody that stands up for the country and defends everybody's constitutional right equally.
So what don't you agree with that?
Well, we
You
got...
said you don't agree with us guys. That makes no fucking sense. You're pro-Constitution, but you're not for the people who are standing up for the Constitution?
But you guys aren't standing up for Black Lives Matter movement. And I'm not talking about the
No, we're not
organization.
We're not standing up for the Black Lives Matter organization.
But you guys associate any person of color.
No.
Then why
Not
aren't
at
you
all.
out here marching with them to make sure that their voice, their freedom of speech is protected?
Because what they're preaching is untruth and false information.
Not individual groups.
Yes.
No, I filmed them.
So have I.
So what are they saying that's false?
Systemic racism would be the primary one.
You don't think that's real?
You want to talk about systemic corruption? I'm with you all fucking day. You want to talk about systemic racism? No.
Really?
Yep.
And why isn't that a real thing?
Because the poorest community in America is a white community in West Virginia.
Okay.
The average person, doesn't matter whether you're white or black, you're getting the same punishment. You want to start talking about the elites and how things change there, cool. That I can get behind.
But they
So
don't
when
have
you're
the
saying
same
that
punishment.
blacks are punished worse than whites, that's not true.
It's factual.
No, it's not. It's based on corrupted statistical data. And it's corrupted because it includes a subset of data of elites. People who can afford good lawyers. Cool, you got a black man who can't afford a lawyer, you got a white man who can't afford a lawyer, they're going to get the same screwing in court.
But they don't.
They do.
They don't.
Statistically, they do. It's only when you start figuring in the data from people who have money to pay for lawyers that that data changes.
Where are you getting this statistic from?
I mean, it's available online.
Right, but again, there's a lot of bullshit that's online too.
Sure.
So if I want to go look up this statistic so I can be better educated and find the right statistics instead of some bullshit.
But you're not already. Like, that's the point. no ability to critically analyze data.
Yeah, but I've spent thousands of hours researching all types of
And
statistics.
have you bothered looking into that to see if there was any change when it came to income? No, you didn't, did you?
You don't know
You
what
just
I've done.
took the data as is,
No, definitely not.
because that's the only way you can come to that conclusion.
So you don't think there's modern day Jim Crow laws that are happening around the country?
Oh, I think they're trying to. They're called Second Amendment laws that violate the Second Amendment. Those are racist laws. The intention and start of that was to disarm the black man. So yeah, we stand up for black rights to own guns as well.
Okay. Well, what about a black voice?
A black voice?
Yeah, why would you not make sure that their First Amendment is protected? Like today, for example, right? So maybe you don't agree necessarily with the message, okay? But this curfew that this city is enacting for 8 days is meant to stifle voices. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
And would you agree that's completely unconstitutional?
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you guys are patriots that protect the Constitution and make sure that everybody else protects those rights, why would you not stand out here amongst them to make sure that their First Amendment is upheld?
So if there's a group of Nazis out here that have the same problem, they want to protest, are we supposed to stand amongst them as well? We don't believe what they believe. Why would we? I have no problem with them exercising their right, but that doesn't mean I have to stand amongst them.
But wouldn't that be what a true patriot is, to make sure that everybody's rights? You got government entities all over this town right now that are here to stifle voices, that are here to shut down the First Amendment.
Sure.
So if you guys want to make sure that that's upheld, that First Amendment, that
Then
everybody...
we'll do it on our own. We don't need to do it with people who believe screwed up shit.
So you pick and choose who's allowed to...
No, we don't pick and choose. If you guys don't want to be out here, don't be out here. If you want to be out here, be out here. You burn shit down, that's a different story. Your First Amendment right only extends to peacefully protest.
I agree.
That's what we're out here making sure, is that things are peaceful.
But why is that your responsibility?
Because I'm an American citizen.
Well, you got law enforcement, National Guard everywhere.
Law enforcement is an unconstitutional body, and so is the National Guard. The 1903 Act of Militia Act took away the people's right to be the militia. That's what the militia is. It's not the National Guard. The people are supposed to defend this country, not some military organization, which is all state police and city police are as well. I've said this many, many times to many, many on your side. We believe in a lot of the same shit. What we don't believe in is the method and the solution at the end. Burning shit down ain't the way to get to it, and communism ain't the fucking answer.
I agree.
I'll stand with you on any one of those issues if you're not burning shit down.
All right, so if you were to do away with the National Guard, right, and it was going to be militia,
Yeah.
right? So since there's so many militias, and everyone's going to have differences of opinions and stances on different things, so how do you guys basically have organization between all of the different militia? Like, how do you stand united then to protect everything if you guys replace the National Guard?
Well, we wouldn't replace the National Guard. We would remove the law that replaced us with the National Guard. The difference.
So what would the National Guard do then?
Nothing. They wouldn't exist. They're unconstitutional.
Oh, right, so replacing the National Guard.
Well, no, just disbanding something that never should have been.
What do you think about defunding the police and allocating funds towards other resources?
Number one, I have a problem with reallocating the resources, because that's tax money that shouldn't even be going to the fucking government in the first place. As far as defunding, I believe there should not be a city police or a state police. Those are military arms of the mayors and governors. They're not constitutionally supposed to have their own military force. I'm all for it, given the right method. Just trying to cut them out completely and watch complete anarchy in the streets? No. But it needs to be done slowly. And turning that over to mental health organizations, that funding over to mental health organizations, It's the dumbest shit ever.
Well, what about employing mental health professionals with the departments?
What do you think the mental health industry has been doing for decades?
Well, you don't really have a lot of mental health people in departments.
We have a lot of mental health people in almost everything. The psychiatric industry has been basically given free reign by our courts.
But when a department has 16,000 mental health issues being called in a single year that we're expecting the police to deal with, 16,000, and there's one mental health professional on staff within the department.
Yeah, the police shouldn't be dealing with it. That I agree with.
Right,
Giving
so
it
if
over
you...
to psychs who, quite frankly, were an arm of German philosophy. That's where it came out of, was Germany. And, you know what a lobotomy is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a real thing. They shove a needle up
Yeah.
your nose, spin your brain around. Do you know how that came about as a solution for mental health? This guy got hit in the head with an axe, and they found out that it disabled a part of his brain that made him calmer. So they said, shit, let's do that to everybody. It'll make them calm. It's a corrupt industry. When you're going to literally electric shock people in the brain and call that therapy, no. When you're going to chemically lobotomize people, no.
Sure, I get
The
that.
goal of psychiatry is to weed out alpha males in the society and any alpha traits. ADHD, OCD, these are not disabilities. Every great creator, scientist, inventor, artist throughout history, you could label as OCD or ADHD. It's not a disability. Sure, unguided and not used properly, it can lead you down bad paths. Being obsessed about a woman can get you in a lot of trouble. Being obsessed about your job tends not to. Tends to lead to a lot of success and money.
But do you think, as far as money and reallocating some funds and mental health and blah, 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 do you think instead of these departments buying all these militarized weapons and vehicles and all that stuff, to employ more mental health professionals to take that burden away from the police? Because we rely on them for so much crap, right? That's not their job.
Yeah. Yeah, we should not be relying on the police for that stuff. We also shouldn't be relying on an industry that is literally trying to chemically lobotomize people. I mean, if psychology and psychiatry want to come up with answers that actually help people, then I'd be for that. But to date, they have not. So no, I'm not for reallocating those funds that way. And statistically, what you find is people who aren't fucking lazy, people who have a job, tend to have lower mental health issues. People who get off of the system, the dole, tend to have less mental health issues.
Where are you getting those statistics from?
Amish communities, farmland communities, you don't find those nearly as high.
Huh.
Only in urban areas do you tend to find high rates of that.
Urban meaning what?
Metropolitan areas, Chicago would have a higher rate of that than anywhere else. Now that's per capita. I'm not just talking, raw numbers, because of course Chicago's got a higher population than say Milwaukee.
So what about people that have jobs and function in society and they're not on medication, but they still have mental health issues?
I mean, it happens, but also it's an educational problem. If you don't understand how to deal with your own shit, and this is, again, goes back to the school system. You start preaching that everybody has a mental health disorder, and mental health disorders are something good to have because they give you an excuse not to be good at something, then people want to have it. It becomes like gay was,
Yeah.
Being bi became trendy. I don't give a shit if you're bi, you're homosexual. You do you, man. That ain't my thing. But when it starts being shoved as a trendy thing and people who are not gay or bi start claiming to be gay or bi because it's popular, that becomes a problem. Same with mental health issues. being able to claim that you have ADHD, bipolar disease, you're a manic depressive, those are trendy now. Everybody wants to have a problem because they're part of the club. And they have an excuse of why they can't achieve something in their life. There is no excuse.
Is alcoholism an excuse? Is that fake?
I mean, alcoholism is an excuse. Yeah. It's one that people should not use. My dad was an alcoholic.
Is that a disease?
I don't believe so. No. The genetic nonsense of this has never been proven. There's no specific gene that makes you an alcoholic. So the genetic part of that is not a thing. There are addictive personalities. My dad was an addictive personality. He quit alcohol, got into gambling, went the same way. Got out of gambling, got into drugs, got out of drugs, got into baseball cards. Anything he would get his hands on, he would be addicted to. It doesn't matter whether it's alcohol, drugs, gambling, whatever. It's not a biological problem, but it's one that psychology doesn't know how to handle either. When the recidivism rate is near 80% for drugs and alcohol, they have no solution. That's not a solution. If you can get the recidivism rate down to, say 10, 20%, then you've got a solution. I would agree with that. It's not a perfect solution. Obviously, it misses some, but it's actually a solution. When it doesn't work or when it only works for 10 to 20%, it's not a solution. I mean, good that something is working for those people, because hell, might as well, but religion does the same thing. Enough people find God and get out of that stuff.
What do you think about all these patriots around the country that have been chastising BLM movement people? I'm not talking about organization. I'm talking about people of color saying their lives matter, right? Where they're complaining about them marching in streets, complaining about blocking roadways, complaining about damage being done, about violence, right? But then we're seeing all over the country now where you have patriots, Proud Boys, 3%ers, right? And they're engaged in the very same things that for months those groups have been complaining about.
Not the very same thing.
No, it's the same stuff.
No.
Yeah, it's the same stuff.
No, because
100%.
Proud Boys aren't burning down any buildings.
They're breaking shit. They're kicking doors in. They are burning shit
they're
down.
not kicking doors in. They pulled a sign off of 2 churches that said Black Lives Matter.
Sure, and there's also video of them breaking doors and windows at the Capitol, tear gassing police.
Which capital was that?
In Oregon.
That wasn't Proud Boys. It was the Patriots. Oh. But yeah, I mean, I don't think either side should be doing that, quite frankly. But
So if those groups were out here causing destruction in my city, would you still come from Illinois
oh, absolutely,
to make sure that they're not?
absolutely. Yeah, no group should be doing that. The business owners around here don't deserve to be harmed because the cops did something wrong. That's a complete missed target. So yeah, I would absolutely be out here stopping that.
Okay. You going to be out here all 8 days for this curfew?
No, I'm headed to D.C. more than likely.
DC?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about Enrique Tarrio getting arrested for allegations of burning a sign?
I mean, I think he should have been. If it was a crime, he fessed up to it. I think the fact that they're trying to charge him with a hate crime is bullshit. And the fact that the one newspaper made up the crap about the overcapacity magazines was bullshit because that was fake news. But yeah, he should have been arrested. He committed a crime. He should have been arrested.
Okay. So who do you think is our real president, Trump or Biden?
Honestly, my answer and what I've given on YouTube, I do think the chances are that Trump won the election without, if you remove the fraud. I think going through the system and how things go, I think he'll probably end up our president at the end of this. What I have a problem with is people thinking that he's the answer. He's not Jesus. He's not a superhero. He's the president. It is literally supposed to be one of the least powerful positions in this country. And the fact that people are depending on him to fix everything that's wrong in this country, I think is disgusting and, quite frankly, being blind themselves.
So when you mention fraud, isn't it been proven, though, that it's been the right or conservatives? I know there's a difference, but that side, those sides that were the ones that were found to have committed the fraud, and it's not liberals or left?
Not from what I've seen. I mean, they literally were able to tap into the Dominion machines in Georgia and have complete control of those machines. They're not supposed to be on Wi-Fi. They're not supposed to be connected to the internet. So that all of the machines that were out and running should have a massive audit on them. And you can't trust any of the votes on them. You can't trust any of the votes on the mail-in voting because, anyway, that's a corrupt system that has never been authorized. And that's part of the battle that's going on in 7 key states right now, is that the legislature is the body in the state that decides how voting is done, how the Electoral College decides to vote. And unfortunately, the executive and the judicial branches of those states made those decisions instead of the legislature, which is why 7 of those states are up for question. And we'll have to see what Pence does on the 6th. He has 3 basic options. He can open up the electoral votes for Biden. He can open up the electoral votes for Trump. Or he can say none of them get opened up and there's not enough votes that goes to the House for the 12th Amendment.
Okay. So you guys, you specifically, have been basically rallying to get your 3%er group out here in Kenosha today specifically, right? And then there's another flyer. It's the same flyer you have, but it's been altered. That says protest the militia. It's got the 3 Antifa arrows. So it's rumored that you doctored it to try to bring both groups against each other and start some shit.
Oh, that's a good rumor. I like that. Let's run with that.
You want to run with that? So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it as it's true then, since you want to run with it, and you like the rumor.
Yeah. It's gonna make me out to be some all-powerful God that can, change and create narratives. Go for it. Whatever.
No, but if it's rhetoric that you're throwing out there, that's gonna start riling people up and bring both sides against each other to cause problems, violence, more death.
If that's the case, let me ask you. I mean, if that's really what I wanted, why would I bother taking the time to actually talk to people that are out here that have opposite viewpoints?
Who are you talking to besides me?
Well, I mean, today, nobody but you. But multiple times in the past, I have. I mean, if you actually watch the YouTube channel, you can see I was talking to the attorney for the family, his name, the kid who was shot in Wauwatosa. I was talking to the attorney out there during the march in Wauwatosa. I was talking to one of the organizers out here a couple months ago at the giant bust where Angry Viking was supposed to have his crew out here and then backed out because of nonsense. I was out here.
Is that what he said?
Huh?
Is that what he said? That he backed out?
Well, he did back out. Yeah. He said there was going to be a bunch of white supremacists out here, so we didn't want to come and go and be around them and get the wrong image. I said, why? Quit being a pussy. Go out, whoop their ass, and then show that you're not a white supremacist if you're not. That's all you got to do. If they're out there starting shit with BLM, whoop their ass. They'll let you bring it to physical, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll instigate that.
But there's no BLM org out here.
There's no what?
BLM org.
I mean, that really doesn't have much bearing on BLM being out here or not.
Well, I mean, it does. You guys always associate any person of color that flies a Black Lives Matter flag as that they're part of the organization. And they're not.
Sure. But you guys say that everybody who wears a 3% sticker is a part of a 3% organization. 3% is an ideology no different than BLM or Antifa. There's no organization. Cool, there's like the 3% Originals, which was the original group to start up that idea. It's the same as the Oath Keepers. You can be an Oath Keeper because you took your oath and you're willing to keep it. You don't have to actually sign up in the thing. Just like you're saying with BLM. Great, you're flying a BLM flag, but you're not part of BLM. Okay, well, if you're flying that flag that stands for socialist and Marxist ideas, you're kind of in support of that too.
Yeah, but it's just people of color saying Black Lives Matter. Doesn't mean that they stand for the ideologies behind the organization.
Then do what the couple did out here the last time I was out here. I forget the guy's name. He ran for something. I have his card at home. But, he basically said, we're not saying Black Lives Matter anymore. We're saying African American lives matter. And white lives matter. And whatever, blue lives matter. Militia lives matter. All of that. We got no problem doing it. But when you're out here saying Black lives are the only lives that matter, yeah, I have a fucking problem with
Nobody
that.
said that.
Racist.
Nobody said that.
Multiple times that has been said at multiple gatherings. Multiple times.
Nothing I've ever filmed.
Okay,
Anyone ever
nothing
said
you've
that.
ever filmed. But it was said out in Wauwatosa when I was out there. It was said in out here the first time I was out
And
here.
you filmed that in Tosa?
Yep. Yeah, I was live streaming at that point. We were down one of the alleyways right before the cops started tear gassing everybody. And I was just off to the side in a driveway with a couple of guys, and one of the guys came up, and that was his whole thing. You have to say Black Lives Matter. We're all right. That couldn't feed?
Nope.
I was going to say, I hate when that happens. That kind of happens.
Yeah. That's why I have two phones. They know better than to call me on this one.
Forget to put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so give me some differences then between 3%ers, Proud Boys, Patriot, No Name Militia, Boogaloo Boys. What are some differences? Because you represent 3%ers.
Well, I represent a lot of different groups. I'm wearing a 3%er, hat right now. But 3% is an ideology. It basically is the group who believed during the Revolutionary War in stopping tyranny. They were willing to actually get up and go out and do something about it, not sit at home and just complain about it.
Right.
So that's the 3%er mentality. The Proud Boys mentality is about Western chauvinism, being proud of the West, of America, of the things that we have done out here. Cool. We were one of the many countries who were involved in slavery. We were also the linchpin that started the end of slavery. We, in fact, were the third country in history to abolish it.
But did we really?
Abolish slavery? Of blacks, yes.
Huh.
We expanded it into everyone.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, blacks are no longer slaves. Chinese are no longer slaves. Irish are no longer slaves. Instead, everyone is. They're a slave to the system. Boogaloo Boys, to my understanding, are more constitutional minded. They have stood, Mike Dunn and his group, have stood multiple times. He started, so I got to start. Stood many times with BLM and Antifa protecting their First Amendment right. I agree with that. What they usually do is they'll get a hold of the groups and tell them, so long as you're peaceful, we'll protect your First Amendment right. Now, that does two things. Number one, it shows support to peacefully protest. Number two, it helps to ensure that they stay peaceful. Because there's a warning that there's guys out there with guns, if you decide not to be peaceful, that will stop you. I like that method. Not a lot of people have taken that method he has. I kind of like it. Boogaloo in general tend to be for the second revolution happening, to my understanding. So they're a little more aimed at that. They want the Great Reset in America. I can't say I disagree with them too much. Methods and ways of it being done, that can be up to debate. Patriots, in my mind, are flag wavers. They're the people that are out there supporting everything. They're not going to do anything about it other than show up and show their support. That's how I classify it.
So what are you guys going to do, since you have your presence here, if this curfew goes into effect and we see a similar repeat of August? Violence, destruction. You guys going to be all armed up? Attack people? Stop them?
We will do our best to prevent damage and help patrol the streets and make sure that injury doesn't happen.
And what if law enforcement tells you to go home?
Well, they may well do that.
Are you going to listen to them?
Oh, I don't know. It depends on the situation. If they've got things under control and keeping it peaceful, then there's a possibility. If not, then and we got to do their job for them, so be it.
Are you planning on doing that peacefully?
As peacefully as the situation allows. I mean, obviously, we know from past incidents that people that gather in Antifa and BLM are armed as well, and they aren't afraid to pull out weapons either. So, things can escalate, unfortunately. I would like to see things tonight be peaceful, and I get an early trip to DC. But if I have to be here until 4 o'clock in the morning, I will.
So you're not going to run back to Illinois when shit starts popping?
No. I haven't any time I've been out here.
Oh, you have. I've watched your videos.
Well, I mean, I could go home.
You get in the car, you live stream, and you're like, oh shit, some shit's going down. I'm going back to Illinois.
I hate to tell you, you haven't seen any of my videos.
I have. I watch your platform.
If you really did, you would know that I don't. I tend to be in the middle of it.
Huh.
Because I walked alongside everything that was going on in Kenosha. So that was over. Every night I was out here in Kenosha, I was walking around the entire time.
What's your stance on Rittenhouse?
I think he's being politically charged for having defended himself.
Huh. You think he's a criminal?
There may be some charges that actually stick. Most of the charges that they're trying to get him with violate the Second Amendment. So if they take it far enough, they'll get thrown out too.
How does it violate the Second Amendment?
There's no age limit on the Second Amendment. Let me say, except if you're under 18.
Yeah, you too.
But all
My father was 17 fighting in Vietnam, so I don't see how you can say you can go fight for our country and die for our country, but you're not allowed to own a gun.
But all these state laws. Illinois, you have to have a FOID card.
Yep.
He didn't have one.
Unconstitutional law.
But they enforce it.
Yeah, it's an unconstitutional law.
What are you guys doing to stop that?
Well, see, the problem with getting something ruled as unconstitutional is the process you have to go down to get it ruled unconstitutional. Somebody has to get caught violating it first. Then you have to take it to county, which that has actually been done in the past, and it was ruled unconstitutional by a county court. Then it goes to state. State, in that case, said that it was constitutional and it was perfectly valid. They never bothered taking it the rest of the way to the Supreme Court. It needs to be taken the rest of the way to the Supreme Court.
But as it stands right now with Rittenhouse, he bought a gun illegally. He carried the gun illegally in a state he's not from. Fired the gun. Killed 2 people. Injured another. So he's in the middle of a crime. There's no self-defense and there's no stand your ground.
Well, there is self-defense because there were shots fired within his vicinity and he was being chased down and had
But there's no self-defense when you're actively in the middle of committing a crime.
Well, but that's the question. Is a law if it violates the Constitution. The Supreme Court says no. So if he's not in the middle of committing a crime because those laws are unconstitutional, then it's self-defense.
All right. Great. Anything else you want to say to everybody watching?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. You gonna
You're
keep
not
it?
as bad as I thought when you came up. You rolled up kind of the wrong way.
Yeah. See, I'm an investigative journalist from here. I've outed KPD for their racial discrimination. I've outed KPD for picking Rittenhouse up that night. I've outed that a National Guard member started initial fires here. Yeah. So there are some things that I'm 100% in agreement with you on, because I'm not stupid. Other things, not so much.
Like what?
Well, that you believe that there's no systemic racism. I mean, it's factually proven.
Well,
There's
there
no
are statistics
modern day
either
Jim
way.
Crow laws that are affecting black, brown, and indigenous people. But then there is also classism, which is more so what you're talking about,
Right.
while denying that there's actual systemic racism. I do agree there's systemic corruption as well. Facts, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, I do believe there are things that have been designed against the black community that are not the same in the white community. Now, but on that same hand, to achieve the same goal, there are things in the white community that do not exist in the black community. It's different methods to achieve the same goal of wiping out alphas. That's what they're going after. They want the alphas out of every race. Okay, they do it with Planned Parenthood in the black community. Fine. They do it with psychiatry in the white community.
But how come 95% of abortion clinics are in more impoverished areas as opposed to, rich white areas?
Well, that's my point. I mean, first off, you go where business is. That's the free market. You're not going to set it up in an area where you're going to get little to no business. The majority of abortions are not from rich white neighborhoods.
Because it's harder to get to.
Or there's just a difference in the school system, the religious system, and the welfare system.
You don't think people of color share the same religion as white people?
Well, they definitely don't.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Christianity as a whole, but no. No, not the same brand of Christianity.
All black people?
No, I'm not all black people, like not all white people. You can't classify everybody into it. But the majority, sure.
Huh.
Yeah, black Baptist churches are a little bit different than a white Catholic church. This is the way it is. There are black churches. There are churches that are more aimed at whites. It's the way it is. Similar to a school system. I mean, would you expect a school in a black neighborhood to be 100% the same as in a white neighborhood?
I would expect it to be, but it's
Well,
not.
You would want it to be, but do you actually expect it to be?
Yes, I do expect it, but it's not.
Right.
Right, so
Okay.
that's a form of systemic racism. The white school is going to get more money than the black school. That's facts.
Depending on the neighborhood. Depends on the economy of the neighborhood.
Right, but do you agree with that? That
On average, yeah, a white school is going to have more money going to it than a black school.
is that fair?
However,
Is that
if
fair?
If you compare a black neighborhood of the same income as a white neighborhood, those will be the same.
Yeah, but that's statistically been proven that it's not, though, too.
No, it hasn't.
Sure, it has.
No, it hasn't.
What do you think about these school systems that are not enforcing anti-racism?
Not enforcing anti-racism. Which one?
Well, like Burlington, for example,
Okay.
they're all about racism. They support it there.
How
They're,
so?
they're allowing little black girls to get spit on and thrown down the stairs simply because they're black.
Well, I mean, first off, the question is, are they actually being spit on and thrown down the stairs because they're black? Second off, I'd like to see how they're actually supporting that.
Well, they're not punishing the students that did it. And yeah, that's a factual case. It's a little girl got spit on multiple times and thrown down the stairs multiple times by white students.
Okay.
And faculty has done nothing. The school board has done nothing. The N-word spray painted and burned in wood chips and grass, and school board and faculty claim they have no idea who did it.
Well, I mean, maybe they don't. I haven't looked into that case. I tend to believe that there's probably a lot more information on that than what you're saying.
We've looked into it.
Okay. But you also just told me that all of the fraud that was coming out of the election was on the right. So, do I trust what you're saying? No.
Well, it's been proven and documented.
Okay, and I'll look up that.
Okay. I'd be interested to see your side with liberals or left committing the fraud. You can email me if you want.
All right, look at that.
I'm definitely willing to read anything you want to send me, educate myself more.
All right, what's the email?
Never.Stop.Voices at gmail.com.
Here's something for you, Pablo. Does it matter what side the fraud was on?
Does it matter what side the frog was on?
Right. If it was fraud, does it matter what side it was
Oh,
on?
fraud?
The fraud, yeah. Go to fraud. Does it matter if the president goes back to control the country?
I think if there's fraud regardless, it's a problem, right? But we also know that the Electoral College can just put in whoever they want regardless of what the people wanted. That's historically happened before, right?
Well, it depends on how the states decided to run it, which is their constitutional right.
So how do we change all that?
Do we want to? That would be the first question. I don't want to live in a country that's run by true democracy. True democracy is mob rule. Our founding fathers were very against that. That means if 51% of the country happens to be on the right at one given time, I can take all your shit, and you have nothing to say about it. I don't want to live in a country that has that ability. The reason we're a constitutional republic is we democratically vote on representatives, or supposed to. Those representatives are held within the bounds of the Constitution, or are supposed to.
So what are you guys doing, though, to change all these laws and policies and all this around the country? You guys have been around for how many years, right? But what's actually happening to make this country follow the actual Constitution instead of some of the bullshit that's happening?
Well, see, that goes at the problem. Who's violating the Constitution?
Well, I mean, we're seeing it, right? You
Is
got,
it the left or the right?
I think it's both.
There you go. Yeah. And that's the problem. That it's both. And people aren't waking up to that fact. The left wants individual welfare. The right wants corporate welfare. Both are wrong. Both are unconstitutional. So when you have a system set up where both sides are screwing you, and all they're doing is pitting one side against the other, when we actually agree on 90% of the talking points, but we're enemies, it'll never get fixed. That's why I come out and do the conversations like you're doing. I just tend to roll up a little less aggressive.
Well, I have a problem with militia coming from out of town, that potentially are here to start shit.
Well, see, but that's the thing. You assume I'm a militia, or I'm with a militia. I mean, it depends on the definition of the word that you're using, but
Well, I mean, I would still classify your little 3%er group as some sort of militia.
sure, but I would classify you and any group you're with as a militia. Depends on the definition of the word you want to use.
Okay.
So that's the thing. You know, we can argue about this stuff, and that's where we get trapped. We're arguing about this shit instead of figuring out how to actually come together on the issues we agree with and get change. Instead, you're bad-mouthing militias, we're bad-mouthing Antifa and BLM. And all the people who are viewing are at home already set on one side or the other.
Of course.
They're not listening to a fucking thing.
Right. They hear what they want. They see what they want. They don't do the research, the fact check shit, look into yeah. It's my biggest argument too.
Yeah.
Stop buying into bullshit.
Right.
You see a social media post, 20 seconds of fucking video, and you don't oh my God, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb as fuck.
Yeah. And that's the problem. The majority of people, I hate to say it, are dumb as fuck. They're brainwashed because they've run through a system that has brainwashed them. They've been taught not to look into stuff, just to accept what authority is telling them.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't bother looking.
I
How are we
agree.
going to fix that? Because that's the problem. That really is the problem. You want to know why the National Guard, why the city police, why the state police have all the power that they have, why the government has the power that they have? Because we're fucking lazy. That's why. Because we want somebody to just take care of us. Just do it for me. That's the problem. And as long as we continue to go down that road and continue to be arguing about, well, if you're waving a BLM flag, are you actually BLM? If you have a 3%er logo on your hat, are you actually a 3%er? We're never going to get anywhere. But we're arguing about the dumb shit.
This guy's always, he don't know nothing.
I was educated in the public school system. That's why I'm so ignorant.
Man,
On the way here, he said, where are we going?
I know, he said you were Uber. Gypsy Uber. This way I can quote him factually. Gypsy. Never Stop Media. You won't like it.
Well, we will.
Probably not. Well, Josh, would you be, when this chaos is done, would you be willing to sit down and do, like, actual interview? We'll sit down, chop it up?
Yeah, after how this went, yeah, I would.
Okay. All right.
Give me talking points of where we're going, because
Yeah.
you bring up stuff like Burlington that I haven't bothered researching.
Yeah,
I'm
for
not
sure.
going to give you an opinion on it.
Got it.
It's going to be a waste of time. But, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'd be down for that.
No bullshit today, Josh.
All right, man.
Don't hurt nobody. No
Try
violence.
not to. We just, same thing, We're trying to make sure shit stays peaceful. We don't want innocent business owners getting their fucking livelihoods destroyed.
Well, why don't you guys drive around and tell all the fucking business owners to file a federal fucking lawsuit so they don't have to close their businesses down for 8 more fucking days?
I agree with.
I've been barking on my channel for fucking days now and told them all back in August they should have been pissed off.
Yeah. We've been telling them they should have been pissed off since fucking April.
Yeah, they justify it. Oh, well, the city was on fire, so it's okay. Well, what the fuck did the curfew do? Nothing. So you should have been pissed off. So when the protesters filed their federal lawsuit, every fucking business owner should have filed theirs too.
Should have.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
The government doesn't have the right to tell you when you can and cannot operate your business.
right.
And that includes COVID.
All right. I'd rather see you guys drive around and go do that. Go tell these people to wake up.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see, everything just remain peaceful tonight. And get the hell to D.C. early.
Okay.
All right, man.
Sounds good. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Huh. Well, Josh Ellis. That's who I'm specifically looking for today. You guys missed out on a fun interview over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yikes.
should go talk to him. All right, let's see what other. You guys guardsmen?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
All right, sir.
Good, good. I know you guys aren't allowed to talk about official stuff, but welcome to Kenosha. Stay safe.
Well, sir.
All right. You too. 8 days you guys are here for?
If you have any questions, you're allowed to contact
The media,
Public Affairs Office.
Public Affairs Office.
Correct.
Can you answer personal stuff?
No, sir.
None of it? Like, okay. Well, I appreciate you guys. So you know. You guys be safe.
Have a good day, sir.
Yep. Alright, well, every time I come down here, I always film the flags. That American flag right there. We are all under that flag. That's how it needs to be. Flag's at half-mast today. There's drones already up in the air. Got more militia. These militia guys are everywhere. See, out-of-town militia, law enforcement, not telling them to go home. How you doing?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Huh. You know that guy? Yeah. That's what I thought that was. Oh, he likes to hide. Sauk County Sheriff's Department already here. Huh? Oh, how was that?
Seen a lot.
Oh,
Nothing like this year.
yeah. Let's go follow this fucking idiot. This guy's a scumbag. I thought that was him. I've never seen him up close and personal, but yeah, it's him. Oh. You fucking piece of shit. So, yeah, multiple departments out here already. It's good. Militia groups everywhere. Nobody's walking around with guns yet, though. Oof, it is cold out. It's gonna be an interesting night. Interesting night. What's up, girly? Oh, not much. I just saw Kevin Matthew sing.
Yeah, I saw him too.
You got Josh Ellis over there.
I'm just waiting on an Uber.
Yeah. I have a bad feeling about tonight.
Yeah, I had the jitters the past 2 days. I don't think it's going to be as bad as.
You don't think what?
I don't think it'll be as bad as August.
No, that won't. But there's way more militia presence here.
In terms of National Guard or Rittenhouse?
Yeah, you got 3%ers over there. You got Proud Boys that are,
Where they at?
huh? They're all over the place. You walk down any of these streets, you'll see them. They're all standing around over there. The vehicle that I was just talking to has Josh Ellis from Illinois.
Slow.
Yeah. Good stuff. You can save it, right? Yeah, I will.
Yeah. I can't talk long. Yeah.
All right. Oh, it is freezing. All right, well, I gotta get going because we're gonna have this announcement coming up here, and still waiting on the exact location of that. So I'm gonna end this, and you guys are gonna see this later, and yeah, so talk to you later.